Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope you're all doing great. So today I'm sharing the journey of creating my very first Roblox game from start to finish. I began as someone who played games for years and always wondered how these games were made. And with Roblox, I did in the past try to get into coding, but I felt like it wasn't for me. And eventually I found my passion in software engineering, and from there it was only natural to come back to Roblox and try to go at it again and making my very first experience. So I've always had a dream of developing my own game from start to finish, and this time actually finishing it, because I started many projects and they ended up not being finished because they were either too ambitious or too complicated. And yeah, so my goal was to learn the full process, which is designing, scripting, and releasing a fully fledged game, while also creating something that could grow into a community-driven experience. And that's where me and my friend got together, and for 3 months, I fully scripted the game and he fully built the game. And no matter how this game turns out, we're only proud that we got to the finish line. This game is called Lead the Town. So Lead the Town is a mix of strategy, roleplay, and pure chaos. If you like games that combine politics, survival, and a little bit of mayhem, then this game might be just for you. So let me tell you about how I developed this game from start to finish and what the game is about. So Lead the Town takes inspiration from classics like generic roleplay game, Jailbreak, Emergency Response, and many more, but with a twist of its own. The core idea is simple. Players run an entire city together, every decision matters, and the question comes to mind: will the town flourish or collapse into darkness and bankruptcy? So at the heart of the game is the mayor system. Only one mayor can rule at a time. So players join the line, and whoever joins first gets the shot at power. As mayor, you control everything: spending the city budget, building shops, setting taxes and wages, and even deciding your own salary. But hold on, there's one thing to keep in mind. You may have the luxury of having all this power. However, you need to manage the resources very wisely, because again, there's something called a city budget. The town lives off the city budget. So if you are reckless with your spending, the city might end up going broke. And also on the other side, if you set the taxes way too high, the players who are playing as citizens might end up rioting against you. So in the end, as a wise leader, you should keep everything balanced. But also, on the other hand, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. So you could either go the route of building up your city, keeping your town happy, or on the other hand, you could be a tyrant leader, set the wages to zero, give yourself the maximum wage, set the taxes way too high so you can feed all the taxes to your personal wage. But in the end, a revolution might break out, so watch out. Also, there's a law system that's in place where new laws are proposed and voted on by the mayor and city councilors. So the laws that get passed can completely change how the game plays. So for example, if a law gets passed where everyone is in favor of minimum wage, citizens will have an automatic minimum wage that starts at $15 per minute. On the other hand, there's also other laws like either privatized or free healthcare, taxing the rich, tax exemption for law enforcement, and so on and so forth. So while waiting in the queue to become mayor, players can choose other roles. So you have the counselor, the police officer, the doctor, the citizen, and the criminal. So as a counselor, you get to debate and vote on laws. Police officers, you maintain order and arrest wanted players. As a doctor, you heal other players and keep the clinic running. As a citizen, you work jobs either in the farm, in the mines, repairing buildings, and much more. And finally, the criminal creates chaos, damages structures, and if the server has more than 15 players, the criminal can also rob the bank. So speaking of the bank robbery, criminals can steal the cash and successfully deposit it at the criminal base. And also at their base, they have exclusive access to their own food and weapon shops. And to quickly go over the tools that are available. So we have the sickle, which is used to farm crops to increase the food supply. Pickaxe to mine ores that fuel the power station and keep the lights on at night. Hammer to repair structures that were damaged by any player that has weapons. Hunting rifle, where you can hunt deers to increase the food supply. Lawnmower to mow and take care of your backyard if you buy a house. Medical supplies, which gives the players their own ability to heal themselves. And finally, weapons that are used to damage buildings or attack other players, but be aware of becoming wanted if you harm non-wanted players. Also, if the food supply runs out, stores can't sell food and the town can face a possibility of massive hunger. And if the power runs out, the town goes dark until ores are mined again. So this is a rough summary of how the game works. Be sure to give it a try. and let me know how you like it. And if you have any ideas how to improve the game and if there are any bugs, I'll leave a Discord channel in the description where you can report your suggestions or the bugs that you encounter. So looking back, I started with simple ideas, food and hunger, mining, basic tools, and quickly realized every new feature affects everything else. So the whole employment mechanic, the shops, the labor, the wages, the taxes, they all had to talk to a central city economy system because they all contribute in one way or another to or from the city budget. So I did make the use of module scripts, and it did help me a lot with being able to reuse all these codes across my server scripts. And also, there were lots of systems that I built, like the shop system and the law system, that needed rebuilding from scratch because I coded them early on and they were heavily unoptimized. And in order to proceed with the development and making those intertwine with the other systems that I built, I had to rebuild those systems from the ground up. And there were also other mechanics where I did the same. And yeah, I mean, even with all that work, the code on release isn't perfect. There will probably be parts of the code base that need more optimization as we have more players playing the game and encountering more bugs. So looking back, every mistake taught me something about structuring code for growth and keeping the game stable across PC and mobile. I started this project to be more comfortable with how the Roblox engine works. And I can probably say that I got a pretty good idea so far. And yeah, I mean, each system that I planned, whether it's the food supply, the electricity, the city economy, the lawmaking, the mayor system, they all forced me to do a few things, which is plan ahead, optimize, and iterate until everything intertwined and worked together. But there's one thing that matters, and it matters the most out of everything that I have learned so far on Roblox. And that is the fact that I have finished something that I started. And that is probably one of, if not the first time, I have done something like this. Because I started many projects and those projects didn't see the light of day. This project also taught me time management, setting realistic goals, not being super ambitious, and just sticking to the core and fundamental ideas of the game with the idea that eventually the game can grow into something better, probably after release. Because let's face it, we all have those ambitious ideas. We all want to build our next dream project, whether it's a game or an app. But at the same time, you as the person that is tackling this project need to stay realistic. And yeah, I mean, there you have it. This is Lead the Town. It's a project that turned scattered ideas into a functioning world. And every challenge pushed my skills even further. If you want to check out the game, I left it in the description. If you have any feedback, again, I left the Discord server link in the description below. I look forward to you guys trying it and giving me your opinions on how we can make this game even better. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.